प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ क्या मिश्रा जी अभी तक?
सर बस वी आर वेटिंग फॉर यू सर। बस अभी स्टार्ट आप आ गए तो हो जाएगा सर।
हाँ अभी स्टार्ट कर दीजिए।
हाँ ठीक है सर। प्रेम शैल वी स्टार्ट? सब ठीक है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So thank you, sir, that we are starting the program on Hoyasala Art and Architecture from the Heritage Cell of MAKAUT. And this is a lecture series. The first lecture is being given by Mr. K.V. Rao. I will request VC sir to just give us a small welcome to Mr. K.V. Rao. He is a very known archaeologist of India, and he has he is now 81 years old, but still very active and doing a lot of work in archaeology, especially in museums. And so I will request VC sir to just speak few words about him, so that we all know about him.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mishra.
Thank you, sir.
From our Center of Heritage or Heritage Cell, we initiated this program, and we want to take up more, this research works and academic activities under the ambit of this Heritage Cell. Today, from today, as Dr. Mishra pointed out, we will be initiating a series of lecture on the art or architecture of Hoyasala temples, and Dr. Rao is here, who is a noted archaeologist of this country. I believe that from his deliberation, all our participants will be immensely benefited. I would like to share some of the future planning of our university with all the panelists over here. Actually, this architecture subjects in this archaeology, architecture, and all these things. We have initiated certain programs under this Heritage Cell, but we really are interested to develop a full academic and research activities in near future, particularly embracing all this technological development which have been happening worldwide, to use all these things in understanding these heritage sites, in understanding this the history, in understanding this all this significance of all these hidden artifacts and hidden civilizations, hidden evidences in a better manner, because in today's context, technological advancement in machine learning, artificial intelligence, image processing, and all these things enabled us to do a lot of researches in all these areas. And with a sound knowledge of our culture, of our this history, of our this all these ancient facts and all these things, with the blend of these modern technologies, that will help us in understanding the real this facts which happened in India, in understanding these all Indian civilizations, all the civilizations which have developed here at different places in the forms of kingdoms, in the forms of these different architectures, these temples, monuments, all these things, to understand the significance of all these things in a better way. And in near future, we will be having more programs in this area, and we will be trying to collaborate and trying to develop networking with all the experts in this field and in related fields. And I believe that this will be a very potential for employment generation and entrepreneurship generation also in near future. Based on this, this effective business model can be developed in form of tourism models, on hospitality models, and in cuisines and all these things. So that is another of planning, that how to use all this knowledge for economic development of our country at different places, how to provide employment to larger number of populations of this country, how to use knowledge for that, And for that purpose, this the cell has been created. Would like to make it more functional in near future. And I believe that we will get the support and cooperation of all experts like Dr. Rao and who are present over here. All their supports, cooperations, and well wishes for taking the mandate of this university in forward directions. With this, I'd like to conclude. So thank you, Dr. Misra, and all
Thank you,
those
sir.
who are associated with our heritage cell for taking up this initiative. I believe that we will be having something great and tangible in near future for showcasing the activities of our university. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So now I would request Mr. K.V. Rao to just start his lecture on Hoysala art and architecture, for which we all are eager to listen him. As we all know that Hoysala art is one of the very important architecture of 9th to 13th century. That is just a contemporary architecture which was in its peak. That is at Khajuraho, that is at Bhubaneswar temple, and in south Chola temple and this Karnataka Hoysala temples. So I request Mr. Rao to please start his lecture.
Yes, sir. Namaskar to everybody. Respected Professor Saikat Maitraji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Partha Pratim Lahiri, Registrar, Dr. P.K. Mishra, Director and Head Department of Heritage Cell, Dr. Anuja Bose, Associate Professor, and participants and viewers of this online lecture. Namaskar to all of you. I am highly honored for inviting me to deliver this online lecture on behalf of the prestigious University of Technology, which is named after an eminent personality of Indian freedom struggle, late Sri Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who was a scholar of great ability and eloquence and was a close colleague of late Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in his cabinet as a minister. I am thankful and highly grateful to Professor Saikat Maitraji, Honorable Vice Chancellor of this great university, who himself is an eminent technocrat of international fame, who started the heritage subject in this largest university, which is the first technological university in India to start heritage subject. It is also the first technological university in India which is giving education in archaeology and heritage. Very few technological colleges have started this heritage subject now. I am highly thankful to Dr. Partha Pratim Lahiri, the Registrar, to Dr. Fanikant Mishra, Director and Head Department of Heritage Cell and retired Regional Director of ASI, who is an eminent archaeologist and authored several books on archaeology, and to Madam Anuja Bose, Associate Professor in the above department, for inviting the son of a middle-class farmer of a small village in Andhra Pradesh for delivering this online lecture on a very powerful royal dynasty of South India. Having served in Karnataka for well over 10 years in different official capacities in different years in ASI, I had the great privilege to work under great archaeologists like late Dr. S.R. Rao, late Dr. B. Narasimhaya, late Sri Jayakant Misraji, and Dr. K.P. Punacha in Bangalore and Dharwad circles of ASI. I have selected this present topic for my today's lecture. I beg to be excused if I commit any mistake in furnishing any wrong dates or any unwanted information in my lecture because of my old age. Then coming to the salient features of art and architecture of Hoysala temples. The Hoysalas, let me introduce myself a little. I had the great opportunity to closely observe and study the Hoysala temples while working as senior technical assistant during the years 1977-78, and again as the assistant superintending archaeologist in Bangalore circle of ASI during the years 1988 and 92. and as Deputy Superintending Archaeologist in Dharwad Circle during the years 1997 to 2002. I have therefore selected this important topic for my online lecture today. The Hoyasalas, one of the powerful kingdoms in South India, have ruled parts of present-day Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, with their capitals at Dwarasamudra or the present Halabid in Hassan district of Karnataka for more than 2 centuries from 1116 to 1346 AD. The prominent kings of this dynasty were Vishnuvardhana, Someswara, Veeraballala, etc. The Hoysalas were not only mighty warriors, but were also master builders. The kings, their queens, subordinate rulers, ministers, high officers, intellectuals, and a host of others have built hundreds of temples in their dominion. They have left behind them numerous monumental vestiges, temples, inscriptional records, and their literary contributions. These activities covered nearly all places throughout their empire, since they aimed at all-round prosperity and well-being of all their subjects and their institutions. Several scholars, both Indian and Western, have written several accounts of the history, architecture, iconography of the Hoysala temples. Among the Indian scholars, the book authored by late Professor S. Shetter of Karnataka University, Dharwad, on the Hoysalas is considered as the monumental work dealing with all the aspects of Hoysala times. The book authored and published in 1989 by Dr. P.K. Mishra on Hoysalas also covers several aspects of Hoysala history, their art and architecture, and is a standard book. The aim of this online lecture is to highlight.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sorry to interrupt, but have you started the PPT yet, sir?
Madam? Hello?
The PPT? Hello?
Yeah, PPT
So
only, yeah, madam.
Yeah,
photographs I'll show at the end, madam. Photographs I'll show at the end.
It's not visible, sir.
Visible, yeah.
It's not visible, sir.
Actually, the PPT is not displayed, sir.
PP is not
Yeah,
visible.
it's not displayed.
Display ಮಾಡಿ. 1 minute, madam, 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಏನು ಎರಡನೇ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಂದ್ರು. Madam, can you see now?
No, sir, not
No,
yet
sir,
visible,
it is
sir.
not visible.
Not visible.
Is there any problem?
1 minute. I think he's doing, sir.
Yeah.
Just share, press the share option.
Share.
Yeah.
Madam, can you see now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now let us come to the origin of this Hoysala style. This one.
Sir, please
Kindly
mute.
mute the speaker
Yeah.
volume of the laptop, sir.
Move it.
Yeah. Please mute the speaker from the laptop, sir.
Madam, I'll start now.
Yes, yes.
Sir, please mute. Sir, mute the speaker of the laptop. Otherwise, you won't be audible properly.
Mute see now, madam. This one,
Sir, laptop mute, sir. Laptop option.
Yeah,
madam,
laptop.
can you see now?
Yeah, we can see
Sir,
Rosa, but you have to mute
Hello.
the mic.
Mute the mic
Mute
of
the-
laptop. From laptop, sir, you have to mute, sir. Mute from the Zoom platform only, sir.
Hello, madam, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, you go ahead. You go
Yes, sir.
ahead.
Please, sir.
Yeah. Let us go to the origin of the Hoyasala style. The Hoyasala art and architecture is an important architectural feature of Indian art history in general and Karnataka in particular. The style of architecture has not just and it took hundreds of years to become a matured and well-developed architectural style during the Hoyasala period. Regarding the origin and development of art and architecture in South India, one has to look into the origin and evolution of temple architecture of Chalukyas of Badami in Karnataka and that of Pallavas in Tamil Nadu, both of whom which have started their experimentation on different styles of temples. Chalukyas of Badami have experimented all the styles of Indian temple architecture like Nagara, Dravida and Vesara, while Pallavas have also made experiment and it became base for the origin of Dravidian style of architecture in South India. In Karnataka, the Chalukyas of Badami have first constructed Vesara style of temples at Pattadkal in Bagalkot district by using locally available red sandstone, while their later successors, the Chalukyas of Kalyana or later Chalukyas, have constructed the Vesara style of temples in Dambad, Gadag, and at many more temples in northern Karnataka by using chloristic schist or soapstone. The influence of Chalukyas of Kalyana temple style has directly or indirectly contributed for the formulation of the Hoyasala style, and the later have borrowed the ideas of the former and grabbed them with its own artistic aesthetic ideas. Due to the similarities of the architectural style, use of same stone in the temples of both the dynasties, some of the early historians like James Hutchison, Percy Brown, and Vincent Smith have failed to recognize or to identify the difference between the two schools of architecture and treated the Chalukyas and Hoysala style of architecture as belonging to one integral style, which they may have named as Chalukyan style of architecture. There was no doubt that the Hoysalas were the political subordinates of the Chalukya Kalyana and thus adopted their style of architecture to a considerable extent. Even our own early historians like A.K. Kumaraswamy, A. Neelakanta Shastri, and host of other scholars have not made any attempt to understand the Hoysala art history. But scholars like R. Narasimhachar, M. H. Krishna, M. Seshadri, S. Shetter, M.A. Dhaki, Sheikh Ali, and others have brought out monograms on the famous and architecturally important temples like Belur, Halebid, Somanathpura, Dodda Gaddavalli, etc. have brought out good basic information on the origin of Hoysala style of architecture, which is useful for the better understanding of the temple art and architecture of the Hoysalas. The salient features of the Hoysala art are: it is a fact that Hoysala temples are concentrated in the southern parts of Karnataka and few parts of Tamil Nadu. Being the political subordinates of the Chalukyas of Kalyana, the Hoysalas had good opportunities to observe and learn the architecture and sculpture of their masters. It helped Hoysalas to inherit a school of architecture and sculptures which has rich in plasticity and sound architectural features. In a way, Hoysalas have improved and added their own innovations to the existing Chalukyan school. They developed, improved, and made it attractive architectural school of their own. The Hoysala's temples are grouped in as below. Number 1, in the beginning it was very small temple with only 4 lathe-turned chloristic schist pillars in the center of the Navaranga without any portico or garbhagruha. 2, small medium-sized temples with portico and few lathe-turned pillars. Number 3, temples with good ground plan with garbhagruha, Sukanasi, Navaranga, open Mukhamandapa and Vesara Sekara, but without wall sculptures. Number 4, a classical type of Hoysala temples with the chloristic schist stone fulfilling all the salient features of Hoysala school of architecture from the raised Jagati to Stupi and Kalasha. Number 5, special group of temples by using locally available hard granite and can be identified with the help of inscriptions as that of Hoysala School of Architecture. It must be noted that these Hoysala style of temples have been constructed with the combination of Chola temples after the migration of Sri Ramanujacharya to Karnataka. Hoysala king Vishnuvardhana constructed several Narayana temples at Talakadu, Gundlupet, Tonnur, Melkote, Belur, Gadag, and Terkanambi to commemorate his victory with Cholas in 1117 AD. Subsequent dynasties like Vijayanagara, Mysore Odayars, and others have done additional work by adding Navaranga, Mukhamandapa, and other structures to the temples. Then let us discuss about type of stone. The most important salient feature of the Hoysala temple architecture is the special type of greenish or blackish chloristic schist, which is fine grained, easily malleable, and ductile at the time of quarrying from the mine. It becomes harder once it is exposed to the sun. This stone is available in plenty throughout the southern parts of Karnataka, and temples built in Tamil Nadu are with hard granite. Hoysalas has no difficulty in finding enough stone of this type for constructing hundreds of temples in their kingdom. The temples built at Tonnur in Karnataka and temples built in Tamil Nadu with hard granite. The Hoysalas have employed local craftsmen and artists in Tamil area who were proficient in the carving of granite stone due to the Chola phase of temple building activity. Granite was available in plenty in that area where schist was not available. For building temples there, the fine grained soapstone dictated the size as well as character of the Hoyasala architecture. Then the plan, the stellate or star-shaped plan is another quality that was used by the Hoyasala artists, which was suddenly flickered the idea representing vigor and elegance to the Hoyasala temples. Hoyasala artists were not attracted by the of the Chalukya and the rectangular plan and choose something different from these good traditions. This stellate plan was in keeping with the outline of Sikara, which itself was a star strength and imagination. This star-shaped plan provided more space for the Hoyasala artists to execute minute carvings, which was more useful for the visitors to have closer look of the wall sculptures and ornamentation. The Jagati or the platform is another characteristic feature of the Hoyasala temples, which are generally Nirandhara, that is shine without Pradakshina Patha or circumambulatory passage. Unlike the Chola temples, which are of Sandhara type, the Jagati is also star-shaped in plan, provides enough space for the devotees to go around the temple as a part of their ritual and also to see the number of sculptures of various sizes on this shikara. Some of the friezes on the Hoyasala temples have stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavata and can be looked from very closely. The Jagati is usually 3 to 6 feet in height and the temple is erected on it. It may be noted that the Hoyasala temples are not lofty ones as those of Cholas and are lesser in height, and the Jagati gives the appearance of greater height to the temple. The Hoyasala temples can be divided into 5 groups depending on the number of Garbhagrihas such as Ekakota, Dvikuta, Trikuta, Chatushkota and Panchakota. That is temple with single, double, 3, 4 or 5 Garbhagrihas with Sukhanasi and common Navaranga. The Ekakota and Dvikuta temples are not many and Trikuta temples are very popular type with complete Hoyasala salient features. In the whole of range of Hoyasala temples, there is only one Chatushkota temple, that is Lakshmi Devi temple at Doddagaddavali in Hassan district. The Panchalingeswara temple at Govindanahalli in Mandya district is the good surviving temple of Panchakuta type, though inscriptions mention temples of this variety at several places. Then coming to the pillars, lathe turned pillars with high polish made on soapstone is another special feature of the Hoyasala temple architecture, which is borrowed from the later Chalukyan temples at Dambal, Gadag, Itagi, Hanagal, and at other places. The Hoyasala artists did not simply imitate this technique but developed it hundredfolds by his imagination and artistic skill, and gave the status of enough art to these pillars. To him, the pillars were not simply load-bearing architectural pieces, but a place provided to sculpture and exhibit his artistic skill, with each pillar different with other but showing excellent workmanship. The Hoyasala artists had a special fascination for concentric circles while making pillars, though other types are also seen. Generally, the pillars contain a square or rectangular base at the bottom, followed by concentric circles of different types on the shaft till we reach the capital. The abacus bears the lion faces below and well-designed scroll work on the sides, while the capital has roaring lions with warriors supporting the corners. Then coming to the bracket figures. The capital of the pillars have dancing women with musicians. These bracket figures are called by various names such as Salabanjikas, Madanikas, Silabalikas, and are another feature of the Hoysala temples. These bracket figures are usually young damsels shown in various postures and moods such as decorating, dancing, singing, hunting, and talking to parrot, etc. These beautiful sculptures are executed by some of the most eminent sculptors like Dasoja, Chavana, and others at the Channakesava temple at Belur, at the instance of Shantala Devi, the queen of King Vishnuvardhana, who herself was a good dancer. The artists have portrayed Navarasas and the graceful and charming young feminine bodies in these sculptures. The ceilings, intricately carved ceilings, are another feature found in the majority of the Hoysala temples. Generally, the best ceiling is that of central portion of the Navaranga, which has inverted dome supported by 4 ornate pillars. These are so arranged as to give enough space for the artist to carve highly intricate geometric designs. Hello? Geometric designs lotus flowers with a bud hanging from the center, the Ashtadikpas and dancing Shiva, etc. The Channakesava temple at Nagalapuram has many ceilings which are carved in good depth. The Hoysala sculptors have exhibited their skill perfectly and neatly in the carving of each ceiling. The outer walls, the carving of sculptures on the outer wall or bitti has a set pattern in the Hoysala temples. The lower part of the outer wall up to a height of ranging from 4 to 6 feet was divided into a series of horizontal band like friezes, one above the other. These friezes from the bottom to top are carved with elephants, horses with horsemen, scroll work, Puranic stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, Makaras, crocodiles, hamsas or swans in the top. These friezes were blank in the fourth frieze from the bottom in Channakesava and Kedareswara temples at Nagalapuram in Tumkur, both of which were constructed during the time of King Someshwara. The portrayal of row of symbolically represented to support or carry the load of the temple. Above the horizontal bond of friezes are found wall sculptures in niches or devakostas or miniature shikaras, pilasters in regular interval. Above these figures, sculptures are seen on eaves or chejjas running throughout the temple as if providing an ornamental canopy so that the wall surfaces could be protected from sun rays and rainwater fall on them. The eave being highly ornamented gives an elegant appearance and also breaks the monotony of the overcrowded wall sculptures. In few later temples are found double eaves. It is interesting to note that in most of the temples constructed during the period of Someshwara, the double eaves are fully ornamented. The first horizontal frieze is always with elephant, which donates strength and stability. Next frieze, horse, which donates speed. The third one with Kirti Mukha, floral designs and scrolls. The fourth one with stories from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavata. Next panel with Vyali, an imaginary animal with the body of a pig, leg of a lion, eye of an elephant, mouth of a crocodile, and tail of a peacock. And above it is with swans or hamsas swimming in water. Then we come to label inscriptions. Another interesting aspect of Hoyasala architecture is the presence of small label inscriptions on the pedestals of the images, giving the name of the sculptor who carved them. These label inscriptions, written in Kannada script of Hoyasala times, become fascinating and interesting information about the names of the artists and date of the construction of the temple and help in fixing the chronology of the temple in the absence of any other evidence. These sculptors are called as Oja and also Ruvari in their label inscriptions. Few names of sculptors are Dasoja, Ramoja, Nagoja, Chavana, Hampa, Malliyama, Malloja, Mallitamma, Vimanna, Revoja, Gumma, Juganna, Madhuvanna, Haripa, Binnani, etc. Then we come to Sikara or Vimana decoration. Next important feature is the Sikara. Over and above the upper eaves are found sculptures of gods and goddesses culminating in the Sikaras. In few cases, in the absence of figure sculptures, the shikaras are made up of turrets in rows. In plan, the shikara generally follows the star-shaped pattern as appeared in Jagati. The stupi at the top of the shikara is a single piece of stone ornamented to suit the shape and the beauty of the shikara itself. Generally, at the facing part of the shikara, which projects into the roof of the Sukhanasi portion, it provides a niche-like dome where one can see the Hoyasala emblem of Sala killing a tiger. Thus, from the top to bottom, a Hoyasala temple seems to be decorated with sculptures or ornamentation in good number, which are very attractive and exhibits artistic skills of those days. Then we come to doorways. Highly decorated doorways or entrances are another important feature of the Hoyasala temples. Though this architectural feature was introduced by later Chalukyan artists in soapstone, the Hoyasala artists developed this tendency into its natural culmination and made the doorways of the Garbhagriha, Sukhanasi, Navaranga, and sometimes Mukhamantapa into excellently carved doorways. In fact, some of the doorways can be considered as representing best specimens of intricate sculptural art of Hoysala period. There are at least 5 deep grooves or the Panchashakas separating the moldings from the sides. The door framework and the architrave emanating from the makaras from either side, blending with the garlands of pearls dropping from the kirtimukas, which has the sculptures pointing to the dedication of the deity. In some cases, the dwarapalas on either side add to the beauty of the door frame. The lintel is decorated with Gajalakshmi and sometimes with other gods and goddesses. The chief merit of the Hoysala art is its elevated architecture to the level of fine art by harmoniously combining sculpture into it. The miniature carvings gave a new dimension to the architecture and sculpture in South India. The artists have chosen the fine-grained soapstone which determined the course of Hoysala art. Then we come to the window screen. Another important salient feature of Hoysala temple is their pierced stone screens or windows or which allow sufficient air and light into the interior of the temple. As the Hoysala sculptors had an ingenuity to make everything decorative, they made even jalandharas containing circular, square or octagonal open spaces were carved with minute sculptures of mythological stories. Thus, the jalandharas appears ornamental pieces and make one to forget that they are windows. Then the sculptures. The Hoysala temples are famous for the rich variety of sculptures. Few historians consider the excessive ornamentation as a defect of Hoysala school of art. The Hoysala artist was so much engrossed in the minute details while creating ornaments, coiffures, dress, bangles, and other details. Each of these items can be considered as a masterpiece in its own right. To him, carving each image was a curiosity of experimental stage. Most of the sculptures of this period are squattish and dwarfish and slightly distorted view of the anatomical features. Stylization and convention has become part and parcel of Hoyasala art. In conclusion, these are some of the salient features of Hoyasala art and architecture. Some of these architectural features have also been imitated and introduced by the Kakatiyas, who were the contemporaries of the Hoyasalas in Telugu country in their temples at Warangal, Palampet, Ganpur in Warangal district of Telangana and at other places in Telangana region. Thank you. These are the salient features of the art and architecture of the Hoyasala temples. Then we'll go to the, this is the map of Karnataka. You can see the Hassan district in black color. Yeah, you can see the Hassan district. Yeah. Yeah, you can see Hassan now in black color. Next. And this is the extent of the Hoyasala Empire in Karnataka and part of Karnataka, part of Tamil Nadu. Sorry. Next. You see the ground shaped temple. Yeah, you can see Garbhagriha and with Mukhamandapa, small Navaranga and Mukhamandapa with 3 entrances on 3 sides. Yeah, this is the Channakeswara temple at Belur. Next, we can see the plan of the temple with 2 Garbhagrihas, 2 Navarangas, 2 pillared mandapas, and a Nandi mandapa in front. This is the Hoyasala temple at Halebeedu. Yeah. Next, this is the photo of the Channakeswara temple at Belur. You can see the beautiful star-shaped plan and then highly decorated Jagati, wall spaces. There is no Shikara here. Panchalingeshwara temple at Doddagallavalli. Yeah, this is Panchakuta temple. You can see the 5 Shikaras. This is Keshava temple, Channakeswara temple at Somnathpura, near Mysore. This is Bikuta temple with a common hall and entrance towards east. Next. This is Channakeswara again, same. Yeah, these are the beautifully decorated gods and goddesses on the temple walls, on the exterior wall of the temple. Next. You can see the beautiful bracket figures, dancing girls, and you can see a female looking at the mirror. Every inch of the stone was carved. Next. The sculpture again on the exterior wall, you can see the beautiful Sikara with the turrets of Sikaras. Next. Yeah, you can see the row of elephants, horses, and then horsemen, and then scenes from the Ramayana, Mahabharata. Yeah, same. You can see the elephants, horses, geometrical designs, and then animals, last swans. Again, this is the carving of another temple. Again, you can see the friezes, number of friezes, elephants, then lions, horses, and then number of decorations on the friezes, horizontal friezes. Yeah, this is the Kalyani or the tank. During period or even the Chalukyas of Kalyani period, every temple has a Kalyani or a stepped tank. Pilgrim is expected to wash his feet and his hands before entering the Garbhagriha. Next. This is outside of the Hoyasala temple with beautiful pillared mantapas and the carved stone doors on the wall and the windows. And this is inside of the Hoyasala temple Halibid. You see the lathe turned pillars and the Garbhagriha at the end. Again, you can see the number of friezes, horizontal friezes on the exterior wall. Yeah, this Dambal temple near Gadag, which is highly decorated with animals, gods, goddesses, and the sikara is decorated with turrets of sikaras, miniature sikaras. Next. Thank you, thank you to all of you again, once again, for giving me a chance to speak about the Hoyasala art and architecture. Sir, I am extremely happy that I happen to work in the museum branch at Amravati, Nagarjunakonda and Goa. Our headquarters was at Calcutta in the Indian Museum, an annex of building, Indian Museum building. I visited Calcutta several times. So I am extremely happy that I was given a chance to speak about Hoyasala temples by the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology at Kolkata. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Geometrical construction used in the Hoyasala temples. Monisha Biswas, she asked one question: what are the types of geometrical constructions used in the Hoyasala temples? Enlargement. Okay. They are circular floral designs that depends from temple to temple. Little difference from temple to temple. Yeah, you can see the geometrical designs, floral designs. Number, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th horizontal frieze. Mainly they are floral designs. Sometimes geometrical designs also. Hello.
Yes, sir.
1 minute. Sivasakar Babu.
Yes, sir, there is
What
another
are the
question.
agamas that were followed in temple architecture of Hoyasala temples and how the various types of vimanas are named? Somsekar Babu, the temple sikaras are 3 types of sikaras: Dravida, Vesara, Nagara. May I request Dr. Panikant Mishra ji to throw some light on this? Shivshankar Babu himself is an expert
Please unmute your mic,
and he is
sir.
asking this question.
Mr. Sir, please unmute your mic, sir. Sir, please unmute your mic, sir. Mr. Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
Yeah, now is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, clear, sir, clear.
So thank you, Mr. Rao. Dr. Rao, you have been so nice. You have brought Hoysala temple in such a beautiful way that we can see Hoysala temple sitting at Calcutta. I am remembering 1977 when I have just passed my postgraduate, and my father was the in charge of whole of Karnataka. And first time when I had gone to Helabid with him, when I saw the temple, I was really lost after seeing this temple. And my father has to go and come back after inspection. I requested him, ki, Daddy, leave me at this temple for a few days. I want to read, I want to study the temple. And I stayed there for a week, you know. And I was not happy to see this temple because I could not see the temple in a week completely. The Hoysala temple, you know, I don't think in world ever I have seen this kind of temple. Although Hoysala style is an offshoot of the Western Chalukya style, but when we see Chalukya style and Hoysala style, we find lot of difference, lot of changes, lot of, you know, the ornamentation part of Hoysala temple. When we see the temple architecture from 11th century to 14th century of Karnataka, in 13th century, I find that it was at the peak. The same period was when Khajuraho temple was built, same period when Orisan temple was built. They were also at the peak. But the characteristic of Hoysala temple was entirely different. How? What I feel, the Hoysala style had a profusion. It was, the material was soapstone, that was schist. Usually on schist, you have a free hand to do the ornamentation of the sculpture, ornamentation of the slabs, ornamentation of the whole body of the temple. What difference I find, because you know very well, Rao Saab, that in 78 I wrote a book on Hoysala temple,
Yeah.
and with me was Dr. Stella Cramridge from Philadelphia Museum. She was the curator, and she wrote the foreword of my book. What was very interesting in that, if there is a human figure, you feel that that figure has got a life. That figure is full of life. If the bangles they have shown, it seems that real lady is standing wearing the bangles. If you see the fingers of the lady, if you see the cheeks of the ladies, if you see the front head portion of the ladies, you won't find even 0.millimeter difference of a beautiful lady, what they have carved. And that is the height of the sculptural art, which you would never see in any of the monument of anywhere in world. And in India also, I have seen many monuments, many sculptural art of that period, but nowhere I have found this ornamentation and this beauty which we have in Hoysala temples. Hoysala temples are not massive. They are not very big. They are not colossal like other temples of Chola or the Khajuraho temples or Bhubaneswar temples. They are short in height, but they are profusely ornamented. Even the star-shaped foundation of the temple, even the figures, the Ramayana panel, the Mahabharat panel, and many other, whatever they have carved with full taste and full interest. Whereas in most of the temple of that period, we miss somewhere. But here it is all perfect. Second very important thing which I found in Hoysala temple, that we have got Shalbhanjika figures also. I think Rao Sahib, you will accept me that Shalbhanjika figures shows that there was it gives the impression about the Indian tradition going back to Buddhist period. Because Shalbhanjika figures we are getting in the Buddhist monuments, Buddhist sites. So that tradition has been followed in the Hoysala temples. And similarly, the religious figures like Ramayana, what I find in Hoysala temple and in Khajuraho temple, the difference of the same period, here, since it is a Vishnu temple, so Ram has been shown as the birth, Ram's birth has been shown. Whereas in Khajuraho temple, it is a Shiva temple, the Ram's middle life has been shown in the sculpture. Though this kind of differences you find in it. So I'm really thankful to you that on a very short time you accepted our request, and on behalf of MAKAUT and my VC was so kind to allow us to hold this series of lectures, which will be continuing till 26th of this month. And many of us have been enlightened by this lecture of yours, which is your long research. I know you have been working for this temple since 1977. I think 1977 you had worked under my father, and I was a student that time when you taught me the excavations at Chandravali. So I remember you from that day, Rao Sahab, and your scholarship is very well known to the world. What you have done to the archaeology and what you have done to the museums of the country is nobody can forget that. So I thank you very much. Or any questions any scholars want to ask, they are all welcome. Hello, Prem.
Sir, actually there is a question. I think Rao sir asked you, sir, you to answer in the temple architecture of Hoysala temples and how the various types of vimanas are named.
KV Rao sir, please unmute your mic, sir. KV Rao sir. So please unmute your mic from the mobile.
Hello.
The question
KV
is
Rao
from
sir,
Sivasarkar
what was the
Babu.
question?
Sivasarkar
Yeah,
Babu.
the question was from Shivasarkar Babu, and
Yes.
it was what are the agamas that were followed in the temple architecture of Hoysala temples and how the various types of vimanas are named.
Madam, Shivashankar Babu, Shivashankar Babu, are you from Chennai, no, Tamil Nadu? Recently, he delivered a number of lectures on Hoysala and Chola temples in Sthapatya Kala Parishad online lectures. May I request him to explain the question put by him?
Sivasarkar Babu, please unmute your mic. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. I was hoping from some more inputs on this from you as well as Dr. Panikanth and Mishra sir. Thanks for accepting my question and then giving me a chance to speak. Basically, my doubt was most of the later period temples were designed on Samarangara Sutradhara, where they talk about Bhumija temples. Many of the Hoysala temples are of the Bhumija style, where the prime Vimana is a consolidation of same size mini turrets instead of your Shekari temple, which is consolidation of Shekaris of different height around the temple, which Mishra Shah would have explained in detail in the earlier Khajuraho architecture. There is a pinnacle of Shekari architecture. So I just wanted to get some insight and discussion to get on this. That's why I asked this question. Is there any other agamas or any structures which are being used in Karnataka in addition to Samarangara Sutradhara? That is my question.
Yeah. Mr. Shivsankar Babu, very nice question you have put. You know, Samaranga Sutradhara has very clearly defined that how the temple architecture should be. They have just made a comparison of temple with a human lady. And likewise, what you say, the Bhumija style of architecture, we are getting Bhumija style of architecture mostly in central India, not in Khajuraho temples, but like temples in Bhojpur, the Bhoja temple in near Bhopal, in Bhojpur, because its Jagati is very low. Its Jagati is very small. And the Jagati is small and the temple structure starts from the plinth only, from the ground only. That is what we are finding in Hoysala temples also. And mostly Agam Sutras have been incorporated in this temple of Hoysala in a perfect manner. As per Samrang Sutradhara, they have copied complete architecture from that text, which is one of the very important to note that that is one of the reasons that Hoysala temples are perfect. I told you not even 0.0 difference you can find in construction of that temple. If you go with the geometrical style, if you go with the geometry, you will not find any difference in that stone. Whereas we find somewhere of the same period temples at Khajuraho or at Bhubaneswar, Orisan temples, differences. Differences may go to 0.1 mm, but in this temple there is no difference. What I personally feel that Samrang Sutradhara must be their original, format, and keeping that as their final. They were taking all Sutradhara's complete description, and then this temple must have been built by the artisans and the rulers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the updates and details. Actually, it was enlightening. I just wanted some confirmation and clarification that you clearly mentioned that. Thank you for that. And it was a
Thank you.
good, interesting 1 hour explaining the basic features of all the Hoyasala style architecture in a simple way. Thank you for that.
Thanks. Thanks.
Looking forward to more lectures on this series.
Thanks. I think VC sir has left, or he is there.
Sir, is with us.
Prem VC sir is there, or he
Sir,
has left?
we are available. We can ask sir if sir can join. Anuja ma'am.
I think sir is joining. Yeah.
He's joining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, Mr. Chopra is there. I can see him. So,
Oh, he has
Mr.
come.
Chopra, can you say something about this topic?
I have visited the Hoysala temples 2-3 times, sir. And as Dr. Mishra has said that it's an amazing experience seeing the Hoysala temples. See, it is actually carved on a soapstone, so the sculptor had an advantage of carving very, very minutely. But the kind of output which they have got, unfortunately, I had seen its recent pictures and I saw it almost 40 years back. I think there is a lot of damage which is happening to these temples, and I would strongly suggest to all of you that there must be some way to be found to preserve these temples, because they are amazing piece of art. I think each sculpture, there are more than 10,000 sculptures in Hoysala temples, and each piece of sculpture can be sold. I mean, its market value can be $1 million. So just imagine 10,000 into $1 million. What is the commercial market value of that art? So I think we should plan to have some kind of a toughened glass wall so that people cannot go very near and touch those figures and in the process damage, because the stone is very, very soft. Soapstone is a very soft stone, and the damage is happening very fast. So after a few years, I think we will not see these temples, and that will be very unfortunate. So we must do something to preserve this fantastic piece of architecture and art and architecture. So I think that is what we should do right now.
It's a World Heritage Monument, Chopra Sahab, and very rare monument of the world. And Archaeological Survey of India has got every year planning to preserve it. But I agree with you. I had also seen this temple when I wrote book on this temple in 77, and the sculptures which were seen in 77. When I went in 2006 to that temple, I could find lot of changes in the sculpture, and lot of problems had come up. Some of the sculptures are now getting eroded due to smokes. Some industrial area has been developed nearby, for which we requested the people also. And it is the right time when government should take very strict action to save this monument. But otherwise, if they are defaced, or if they are out of the preservation, then we will be missing a great architecture. We will be,
See,
I don't think.
Dr. Mishra, आप देखेंगे, if you go to Amsterdam, in the art gallery, there's a painting called Tempest of Rembrandt. You can't go close to that painting. You have to actually go. You are at some 40-50 feet away from that painting. You cannot use flash for taking pictures. They are taking all precaution to make sure that painting is not damaged. Now we don't take. People go and put their hand. People go and put some sharp, thing, and it's a very soft stone. If you use anything sharp, even with your nails, you can make marks on that. That's a very unfortunate part of the whole thing.
You know, the Chennakeshav temple is having 32,800 sculptures. 32,800 ornamented all artifacts there. So that needs to be seen from distance, not that people should go and touch and they should spoil. And of course, ASI is taking all care, but manpower shortage and so many other difficulties ASI is having. So they are not able to preserve as they should preserve it. So they must be serious about it. It is a very serious problem, not only to that temple.
I have visited many sites. I don't see, excepting Khajuraho, which is again an amazing piece of art and architecture. I think the second place, or I would say first place, I like the most is the Hoyasala temples in Belur and Helibet.
Yes. I will list it in first place. It is topmost. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is the best place. Yeah, it is the
best place.
So we were very thankful to Dr. Rao for such a detailed and such a nice, full of information lecture, and thankful to Dr. Shoykat Mitra for organizing this, and Dr. P.K. Mishra for taking the initiative of doing this. I mean, I was all through there. I was listening. In fact, I was in the car. So I switched off my video because the connectivity was very low.
Yes.
Oh, I thought where you have left, you are very keen to attend this lecture.
No, I was there.
So I wanted.
Yes. Chopra Sahab was there from the beginning. I was seeing his name.
Oh.
But how to make short films, video films on these temples, and because not much YouTube videos are available. Interesting YouTube videos describing all these things as Dr. Rao presented. So I think we should take an initiative in making a good film for engaging our audience in a more efficient manner. This is one thing. Second, as Mr. Chopra pointed out, is very right. It is the sad, this fact of most of our monumental pieces, these archaeological pieces, that this is poor, this preservation, poor rest, this upkeeping, all these things, making these things damaged. Even I have seen this in many places. People are everywhere. People are the habit of scratching on the wall and putting their names, and in many places. I have seen it at Ilora also. Ajanta ke Ilora,
Yeah.
they have done damages in many places. And that is a very good idea, that everything should be protected with some toughened glass or something like that, through which you can see but you cannot come nearby. That is one thing. So why if this ASI is not taking up these types of measures in preserving all these old valuable pieces? This is a surprising thing, because you see, India is a gold mine of all these things, and we are very callous in this preserving, restoring, and maintaining all these things in a proper manner.
Dr. Mishra, you take the initiative. I'll raise the fund. You take the initiative. You get us the permission from the ASI to put a toughened glass wall around the temple, so that people can't go near the sculptures.
We will take up,
raise
I think,
corporate fund, CSR fund to do it.
we will initiate, Chopra Sahab, we will request Raghavendra Singh ji also, we will apprise him, because he is the Secretary Culture, and I hope when he comes to Calcutta, and he is known to you very well, so we can organize one meeting with him, and our honorable VC sir should also come in that, and we can apprise him that they have to make some plan to preserve these archaeological monuments, that too the real monuments like Halabid, Belur, and even the Vishnupur temple, even at Murshidabad, most of the things are now getting eroded. They are getting defaced. The Indian, I am sorry to say that Indian public don't understand how to save these monuments. They don't go with that feeling that we are the saviors, but they go with the innocent ideas and they put name, they spoil the things, they put fingers like VC sir is telling at Ajanta Ellora. So these rare monuments, so we can have a national project on it. And I think when next time Raghavendra Singh ji comes to Calcutta and you make a meeting with us, we can apprise him, we can tell him that how best we can preserve, and CSR fund, if you are raising, we can raise it. It is not very difficult. So we can make a calculated program on this. This will be very much interesting, and our heritage will be saved by this, at least to the World Heritage Monuments, which are very important.
These should be all these points of economic this development, because if we can project all these things, give proper publicity of all these historical facts and all these these interesting features of all these things about the world market, there are lots of potential of attracting many tourists, and tourism can be a big this boom for our this economy. But this the part is neglected. This is my experience. I think Professor Mr. Chopra, Dr. Mishra, everyone has listed attitudes in preserving our things and to extract benefit of all this, the things which are already having our resources. These are there lies our this indifferent approach. Everything is like that. That is there. Let it be there. It should let it be continued in that old fashion. But now we should take some things, some steps in changing all these things. The mindset has to be changed, and that needs to be this transpired in the administration, government, in education, and everywhere. Working this at different as different islands. No coordination, no this networking, no integration. And no, this serious effort in doing something great for this entire nation. That is a big problem for us. In other places, in Europe and other places, small pieces of not that much of historical importance, they are preserving, showcasing, attracting tourists for seeing all these things and maintaining. Here, these lots of things, thousands and thousands, millions things are available. But who cares? This is the biggest problem of us.
Sir, Australia had only one World Heritage Monument, which I visited in '94. Yes, and when I went to that monument, on aircraft only, they were giving big advertisement about that monument. So we were so curious, we wanted that we should get down from the aircraft and go to the monument. We went to the monument next day. When we went to the monument, they showed us the monument. They were charging $10. We were Government of India guests, so we were the guests. Then we moved all around the monument. Then they said, ki, sir, you have to go on the top and we will show you some very interesting thing on binocular. We were very surprised. When we went on the top, they had kept such a nice binocular, and they said ki the original monument is that. We are not allowing tourists to go to the original monument. And you know, sir, what it was? It was just 300 years old post office.
Australia's
This,
history is there relatively new. That was those aborigine and all these people who used to stay there. But basically, in Australia, from England and other places, the convicts were transported to their places.
yes.
Yes.
Those, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Easy. How it can be a rich, you can have a rich heritage history. It is not this. Australia is otherwise it is good for natural scenic beauty and maybe this big country or something. But in terms of history and heritage, no match.
No match. Indian heritage, I
Yes,
think
yes.
nowhere in the world, nowhere in the world. And
Right,
that
right,
is why, when we do sankalp of any puja, we call it Brihat Bharat. Brihat
Yes.
Bharat Varsh, Brihat Bharat Varsh Jambu Dvipe, Bharat Khande, Aryavarte. You know, Jambu Dvipe, Bharat Khande, Aryavarte is not the present India. It goes up to Java, Sumatra, Mauritius, and all that area with Chandragupta Maurya, who was the Chakravarti. He had a big area.
Yes, yes,
And
yes. Including Afghanistan. Afghanistan and all
Afghanistan,
this.
all was with us. Afghanistan, China, Nepal, all was with this Brihat
Yes.
India. So this was India. India was ruling world in a heritage, and this all ancient texts, ancient monuments, these scriptures, this our literature, our script, all are old. But we are not able to maintain it. That is a very sad
Yes,
story
yes.
of the things.
And
Very
you see,
sad.
people do not know. I was listening one story from Mr. Chopra regarding this design of forts. The main fort was at the back, and before that there are two other forts. So if you want to go to the main fort, you have to overcome two, these initially seated forts, and then you can go to the ultimate fort. And the entire design was like that. I think Jagger story, yes. So these are the nice stories that people do not know all these things. So now we have to do something from our heritage cell to make our people and our Indian people as well as international aware of all these
So
things.
we can start a project. That is why I am telling to Mr. Chopra ji, कि Chopra ji and Raghavendra Singh, the Secretary Culture, they are meeting with some other works. So once if he makes the meeting, and from our heritage cell, if we start some, suppose for the Vishnupur temple, I don't think Vishnupur temple's full documentation has been done. It needs a full documentation. It needs we can make from heritage cell, we can work on it and we can do it. Because Vishnupur temple has been forwarded for World Heritage Monument. So let Chopra ji come forward with this, and we can have some concrete plan on this from our MAKAUT Heritage Cell. And that will be a monumental work. Everybody in world will know that this kind of work is required in India. This kind of work is required in West Bengal at least. We can show and we can give a very good productive thing which people will like it. Main thing is documentation. If we go for the good documentation, very rich documentation, definitely the history will propagate. People will know. Actually, we are not marketing our goods. We are very poor in marketing our goods. And once if we market it, definitely people will know its value. The illiterates will know its value. That is very important.
Yes. Okay, then we have come to an end to this meeting, to this webinar. So I think today we had only one speaker, no?
Yes, sir. Today we have one speaker. Tomorrow we have one Buddhist scholar.
Okay,
He is a professor in Calcutta University. So he will be speaking on Buddhism in West Bengal.
Okay.
So that is also a very interesting lecture.
So thanks to all our speaker, Dr. Rao, and our panelist, Dr. Mishra, Mr. Chopra, and others. Now, Pooja Bose, kindly give your vote of thanks and make an ending to this program.
Sir, first I would like to give my thanks to our Honorable VC sir, who has been grateful to give us this chance. We are really grateful from the Heritage Cell and our Heritage Cell head, Dr. P.K. Mishra. Sir, you have definitely arranged the whole session, and we are really grateful. And obviously, Mr. Pradeep Chopra, sir, you have very gracefully given your wonderful suggestions that we can go forward with. And obviously, to our speaker, K.V. Rao, sir, who is an eminent archaeologist and have dedicated his life to Indian history and have done so many wonderful projects for so long that we as a student have read about and have tried to understand the process, how they have created this path upon which we can work on. So, with this, I would like to end our session today, sir. So, we can join tomorrow with new ideas and new perspectives. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, KV Rao, sir. Thank you, PK Mr. sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Anuja ma'am. We will be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. And the joining link for tomorrow has been displayed in the chat box, has been posted in the chat box. So please keep note of those links and please give the feedback of today's session. The link has been posted in the chat box. It is requested to all to kindly take note of those links. Tomorrow, that is 23 December at 4 p.m. we will be back with session 2 at 4 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Prem.
sir. Thank you everyone for participating. We will be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bhagale.